Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next edition of Language Talks. I'm privileged to have with us today Mr. Akhil Mehta, the Chief Strategist and Managing Director of Mehta Publishing House, Pune and Kolhapur. Mehta Publishing House was established in 1976 by Akhil Mehta. The publishing house needs no introduction. It has been a strong and dynamic force in this industry for several years now. It specializes in Marathi language and literature publications. It also focuses on Marathi translations of books from English and other Indian languages. Late Sunil Mehta of Mehta Publishing House published quality books of many authors. He played a significant role in bringing many books from other languages into Marathi. Today, we are in conversation with Akhil Mehta, who has insights into the publishing industry. He has done his master's in publishing from Oxford Brookes. He loves to write and be a part of challenging new projects. Hello, Akhil.
Hello, ma'am. Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes.
You have taken formal education in publishing from Oxford Brookes University with
That's
a
right.
specialized approach towards children's books.
Right.
Can you tell us more about it?
So, well, it started from Akhil Mehta, my grandfather. He basically had the vision that the publishing company should be there for a longer period of time, and of course, we are part of such a people and community that we don't believe that reading is declining or any sort of thing like that.
Okay.
So he was going to German book fair, Frankfurt book fair, London book fair, and he was looking up a lot of places where the same company was and everything. So there he came across a course where Oxford University were the holders, and he with them, and he absolutely said this is I should be doing it, and he had that vision that I'm definitely going to make my son get a master's degree in publishing and sort of that expertise. So yes, I think then like education that I people around me were saying I'm going to be engineering. Even me going there, like there were many people who would ask me like what exactly publishers do and what kind of education you're gonna, what kind of a job can you land with it, and what kind of a project you will have in your mind when you have a job. So I mean, all those things apart, like I trusted my mother and I absolutely went. I think it's one of the, I would say, rather everyone who is not from a background, those courses basically you to come into book publishing industry or even book selling for that matter, because we need such people and that sort of an expertise that such people give you. Like there were conducted authors agents like Jeffrey come down to conduct a session. Authors actually like make interaction and have sort of a stake in make sort of progress in book publishing. So that's why they endorse it in a way. So it was lovely to do so. And yes, children's book. I thought that children's book publishing should be my special part as in publishing. So specialization, what you can say. So I thought that it's a good opportunity, and it was lovely to see, how actual the core of the reading culture, you would call it, like how they interact with the kids and how they actually talk about, how to go about the younger generation. So it was lovely and it was fun, and absolutely it was enlightening.
That is fantastic. Akhil, you have interned at Periscope Books in UK. So how was that experience as well?
I was living in Oxford, and Periscope Books was in Reading. So it took me about like 45 minutes journey to reach and get my internship done, which was altogether a different experience. And I think it was very good they had some young adult fiction books where I could get and interact with the authors. Whereas in Marathi publishing industry, when you talk to a newcomer author and vice versa, when you talk to a newcomer or like the first book, the firstly published author in UK, there's a huge difference. And I think the difference was of the professionalism and the approach where the hunger and what you can say, the imagination of getting more books published and the vision of putting up developing some characters. I think that was the difference, and I think it is helping me a lot right now in my experience when I'm dealing with many children's book author, or for example, it is Farooq Kazi ji had come down to my office at that time when we were discussing about some future projects. It helped me, gave me some insights where I have taken up this conversation before. So yes, it was very helpful.
Your publishing house has a strong presence and repute in the publishing industry, and you have inherited that. So how does it feel?
It feels very privileged, as well as it makes me nervous as well. And equally, it gives me a lot of strength, especially with all sorts of what do you call it, rituals and the sentiments where my father has worked for this company.
Yes.
I think this company should stay and this company is going to live on. That's the whole point of my living purpose, I would say, for my father. And he had done some incredible work. Like, he had a different vision and he went along with the world. He was going around with different places, including Delhi or as I mentioned, like Frankfurt or London. So he had a different vision. In fact, like he was the first publisher in any of the regional language where he got most of his backlist titles on print on demand machines, where we would just print about 50 to 70 copies. Even right now, in today's world, right now in 2022, there are a lot of people who cannot even, who haven't worked out the mathematics with the print on demand. So I think he was the first one who actually, who went into it, and then he started calculating, and then he did all the reverse mechanism, and he absolutely highlighted it that this is going to be the future.
He was ahead of his time.
Absolutely. And regarding POD as well as regarding ebooks as well, I think ebooks, we literally were working for about 3 years. Me, my father, as well as my grandfather. My grandfather had a visionary role. My father and me had a sort of a technical role. And we were working for at least 2 years where we could say like Devanagari script could be, actually be readable on Kindle. And in 2011 or 12, I guess, we launched ebooks with about 500 titles in print. So right now we have a catalog of more than 2000 plus ebooks, and that sort of a work he has done. So that, in fact, like that paid off in lockdowns. So lockdowns we absolutely saw, like I think Penguin had a rise of about 600% downloads for ebooks, and we had some similar numbers because it skyrocketed. All the other people most of the people were reading ebooks. So
that's great.
It was really good. Yes. So yes, inheriting all this, like it's a huge role and it's a huge task, and absolutely it's a sort of a responsibility for the society, which I feel, and I feel proud about it. Thank you.
So nice. You have seen generations of this publishing business, publishing, printing, writing, I mean, all inclusive. So what do you think are the new age challenges faced by your publishing industry right now?
I think cost effectiveness is one of it. And a lot of dependency upon online. Dependency upon online for sales is all right. That's not a problem. But they commanding the certain percentages and the shipping charges and all the mechanism, I think it's sort of a monotonous way to go ahead. And that is really hurting in a way. Paper prices again due to war and everything. So those have shooted up. So I think book prices are going to at least like hike up to like 50 to 70%. So these are like few challenges where we are facing some problems. And piracy, of course, being the helm of it. people need to take piracy seriously. I think not only the readers as well as the management and all the stakeholders, they need to take piracy seriously. It's not for a casual fun that people are downloading and taking up some pirated material off the street. That it's not a good sign.
So we in India or worldwide, we have literature festivals, book fairs, book exhibitions, and Sahitya Sammelans.
Right.
So I would like to know your thoughts about it.
I think it's a wonderful exercise, and I think it should keep happening. It's a good platform for all the people to come together and exchange few words and get an update and have a latest version installed in your brains that what's actually going in the reality, because many people are facing a lot of different problems, and we get different aspects that we probably in the future we might face such problems, and this could be a challenging issue from our side, or there are certain problems where for GST, for example. Now, GST is such a, like a complete floating, I don't know, it's something very, it's nothing concrete. No one knows what's happening. And we don't know how much publisher should shed the percentage, how much author should shed the percentage, or is it really necessary for, GST to be part of author royalties and printing cost, especially when the end product books which we are selling, we are not collecting any GST. So there is also actually there was a conference for Federation of Publishers and Booksellers Association, FBPA, in Delhi, and it was an annual general meeting. That time we had been there. So people talked about, say, like GST in a way where there are certain people who are there are like certain people or like a group of people who actually say that books should come under GST. So that is also something where you can get a glance and maybe something to think about in the future. So I think it should keep happening, and that encourages everyone, or even the new people who are not part of book publishing industry or book selling industry in general. So they can have a piece of it. So yes. Nowadays, at least like since 2 or 3 years after lockdown, it has become so simple. Like even creating a website right on your computer in an afternoon all by yourself. You can do it. It's possible. Other than that, like softwares like InDesign, they actually give you liberty to convert the EPUB file on your computer itself. Just like saving it as a PDF, you can save it as an EPUB. So ebook is done right there and there. So that is all, and we are not we haven't made our own platform though for the ebooks or our own app or something like that. And the reason behind it is we don't want readers to make a different library for Mehta. I mean, they're already using Kindle. Everyone wants all the books in one library, accessible in just one username and a password.
Correct.
So that was the reason that we will never come into our own, specialized platform for audiobooks as well as for ebooks. But yes, websites are doable. And with all the shipping options as well, like picker.com or something where, it's very simple. Like you just sign up and start doing it and people just come pick it. If you want it returned, you can place an order. It's very simple. It is very ecologically, well placed. So I think it's not that difficult, I think. But yes. Hopefully, everyone will do so. But I think most of the major regional publishers are into, digitally ebooks or audiobooks or even websites or all.
Okay. Can you tell us the process a book has to go through from initial submission from the author to being published?
There are a lot of processes. I think it also depends on the kind of topics which we are doing books on. If it's going to be a self-help, maybe the scrutiny is a little less. But if it's a historical fiction or something, which we did, Mahasamrat by Vishwas Patil, I think we had to scrutinize it on a very different level because there has to be a legal opinion which needs to be involved. There has to be an editing opinion which needs to be involved. A solo editor cannot probably do some justice. So, couple of editing rounds. Well, at least 3 to 4 proofreading rounds, and then cover design and layouting, and of course, like the fonts. And there are a lot of processes which needs to be gone through, and we take our good time because Mehta Publishing House or my father or me, we would tell people that it's very simple. We only work with book only once.
Oh, okay.
So even
Nice.
if it takes 1 year, it is
Hmm.
justifiable because
Hmm.
we are not going to be working on the content again and again later in the
Correct.
future unless it is revised on a very different level. So
Hmm. Hmm. That's great.
yes,
So you take all the good time, but the end product is
yes.
fantastic. Hmm.
Our we at least make one editing round,
Hmm.
sometimes two, and
Hmm.
definitely three proofing rounds.
Oh,
So
okay.
these are like
That's
5 stages where we follow, and then it comes to the artwork and everything. So
uh, yeah, that's a lot of steps.
right, yeah.
What are some of the most important skills for a book publisher to have, according to you?
I think he should be a business minded with a artist.
Hmm.
Like his heart should be right in the art form, and his
Hmm.
brain should work like a calculator. I think those are
Oh,
the two
okay.
qualities. But just a
Fantastic.
businessman cannot
Huh.
work as a publisher, or just an
Huh.
artist cannot work as a publisher. I think you
Huh.
need a good combination of that.
Good combination,
So,
yes. Right.
yeah.
So, coming to my last two questions. One is, what, according to you, is the importance of reading books?
I think it is very important. I think it is the
Mhm.
only thing which is important
Mhm.
because you get to choose what you want to read. It's
Hmm.
not sort of a garbage thrown at you to feed or news channels or YouTube content or Netflix or OTT. They are throwing you lot of things in one price,
Hmm.
and you just want to consume it because it's free in a way. But
Hmm.
books, you have that liberty to choose your own thing, what you are going to feed to your brain.
Hmm.
I think that makes a very good personality out of one
Hmm.
because
Right.
you are
Yes.
following the path of your instincts, not
Hmm.
what people are giving it to you. Yes. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Very nice answer.
Thank you.
And, and lastly, what changes would you like to see in this language business? I mean, not only publishing, because you're dealing with the authors, you're dealing with the editors, artwork, everything, which is part of this industry.
In fact, I would not like to see one change which is happening very rapidly is the
Hmm.
storm of self-publishing.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
So that is something which I think it's not good in a way.
Hmm.
But of course, there are a lot of ifs and buts and positive and negatives for it. But
Okay.
that is one thing. And going ahead, I think publishing should be looked upon as a professional business, not only English publication, but in
Hmm.
general, regional publication as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because there is a lot of work which has to be done. And
Hmm.
not only with just English language, but we have done right now, we are going to be launching Petit Pays, the
Okay.
translation from French to Marathi. So
Oh, okay. Wow.
we are going ahead with
Mhm.
all the other regional languages as well in Europe as well as in India.
Hmm.
So we are doing a lot of Kannada books which are coming in Marathi. So I think
Fantastic.
yes, that should be the next step, I guess.
Which languages do you know, and which languages would you like to learn, Indian or international?
I know English, Marathi, and Hindi.
Hmm.
And other than that, I think German language is something which I would really like to,
Hmm.
learn.
Hmm.
Indian languages, I would rather go for Tamil or something because I think that is well spoken language. And if you know how to speak Tamil, then half of India is already like in a local way. So yeah, so
True.
that is one way. But other than
Mhm.
that, I don't think so. I'll get time in the future to learn languages, but
That's true.
hopefully,
That's true. Understand. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, definitely, I'll go for one if I get a chance.
Sure. Great. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
And, and thank you for sparing your important time for me.
No problem. Thank you, ma'am.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.